everybody, it's Gloria Ortiz with Real People Realty, or some of you may know me as Glow, as in hashtag Go With Glow. And look who's back. It's real estate attorney Brian Tierney, and today we're going to be talking about rent with option to buy. So the first thing I wanted to ask you is, what exactly is it? What is the definition? What does it mean?
So rent with option to buy, you'll have a lease, you'll have an addendum or add-on to the lease that contains an option. An option gives you the legal right to purchase the property, but it does not obligate you to do so. So if you would like to purchase during the option period, let's say it's a month or 2 month period after the lease is expired, you have the option to do so, but you are not obligated to do so. During that option period, the owner of the property cannot sell that property to anybody else because you have a contract with them, the option contract.
And you've paid for that option to be able to do that. So a couple of things with rent with option to buy. One is you and the owner are going to agree on an option fee to be able to give you that option.
Which is non-refundable.
Which is non-refundable if you don't purchase the property. Number two is, so besides your first month's rent, your option fee, you'll probably have to pay a security deposit. All this will probably be done around the same time. And let's say the fair market rent for that property is $1,000. But more than likely, you're going to be paying a little bit more than that. And that extra is going to go towards you purchasing that property after your lease is up. So let's say it's $1,000. We agreed to pay $1,200. So the extra $200 goes towards your down payment if you decide to purchase that property. But if you don't purchase the property for whatever reason during that time period, it's a possibility that you can lose that extra $200. And it's not just $200, it's 200 times whatever months the lease is. So if it's 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, whatever the case may be. So you can lose your option fee and you can lose the extra you were paying every month. Or you can negotiate and say, hey, I don't want to lose the whole 200. What if you keep 100 and I keep 100? And then the landlord can return it back to you.
Correct, yeah, it's whatever the parties agree on. So what happens with the additional rent over the fair market value of whatever that rent would be for that type of property in the area, the extra money is meant to go toward your down payment or toward the purchase price of the home if you do exercise your option. And as Gloria said, it all depends on what the parties agree on. You could agree on a 6-month lease, a year-long lease, whatever timeline makes sense to the parties, whatever they can agree on, and how the additional money over the fair market value, it's whatever they agree on too. So the landlord might keep the whole additional amount, the client might keep it all, or they might split it in the middle.
One last thing I did want to talk about as well is many times people think when they are in a rent with option to buy lease contract, and for whatever reason they can't buy at that specific time. Maybe something happened and you need another 3 months or 5 months, whatever the case may be. The landlord has the option to renew the lease with you. He can also charge you another option fee if he wanted to, or just go ahead and renew the lease. But if he doesn't renew the lease and another person comes along that does want to purchase that property outright, he has every right to sell that property if you did not exercise your right, your option to purchase it. So if you can just touch a little bit on that, so that they understand that they automatically don't have the right to buy this property if their lease is up.
Well, yeah, so when they have an option, during the option period, the tenant would have the right to purchase the property. Once that option period expires, the landlord is not obligated to sell that property to them anymore and can sell the property to whoever they want to. The landlord is also not obligated to keep on renting to the tenant either after the expiration of the lease. So if you think you want to keep on renting and your option period is up, you probably want to plan ahead and talk to the landlord earlier to tell them, you know, we'll see whether I exercise the option, but I'd like to be either on a month-to-month lease or to try to sign a longer lease. The landlord can agree or does not have to agree.
Especially because you don't want to lose that option money you put up in the beginning of the lease. You want to try to save it, or the additional rent you've been paying. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you have any questions about this or real estate in general, my contact information is on this page and I'll be happy to help you. Or if you need to talk to Brian, I can put you also in direct contact with him. He does a lot more stuff than just real estate. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing a few more videos in the near future. See you soon.
Thank you, Laura.